feel better to me.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I think you even sent me a podcast. Of course, I don't know the name, but you said then it starts and they're talking in the beginning, and that person is saying, like, you wake up and say, I'm grateful. You wake up and say, I'm happy. Or you wake up and say what the word is for you to get you to where you're like, okay, now I am grateful to be here, where I'm at, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And things will just start they would start unclearing. Like there's the clouds and they're spotted, or I can see they're spotted. But once they're it's there. Everything is right there. It's almost like having blurry, there's fog on the glasses right now. So I think just
not seeing it clear.
Yes. So you can't just be like, well, tomorrow I'm just going to go play cards with somebody and see what no, I remember right now a podcast you sent me, or we were hearing together. Just wake up in the morning and say that, and just say it with the feeling, and then let it go. And then just, go breakfast, go outside, or whatever you do in the morning. And then I think that'll convince yourself, or it'll just train your brain. So either you convince yourself or train your brain.
Yeah.
But something's going to happen where it's going to spark that energy that the flame is still there, but it'll spark that energy like, oh, well, let's warm it. It's time to warm up again.
Yeah.
And the flame would just it'll just go higher and higher.
Yeah, I think where I'm at right now is, like I said, that I have you in my head going, like, you need to follow your own advice. You need to take care of yourself. Like, I have that in my head all the time now. And so now, even though there's a part of my mind that goes like, this is bullshit, it's not going to work, I'm just doing it right now. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to fucking meditate for 90 days straight, and I'm going to write down my feelings every day, and it sucks, and it's boring as shit. And as I'm doing it, most of the time I'm like, fuck, I could be doing something else. But that's a lie, by the way. That is definitely a lie. 15 minutes is nothing in the day, but you told me you dealt with the same shit. It's getting out of that comfort zone, man. Like, and that's really, you said it perfectly. Like, I know that's what it is, man. I have gone as far, and this is crazy for me. I've gone as far as like, maybe I need to like skydive. My biggest fear in the world. Maybe I just need to go do that and be like, well, if you could do that, then nothing else. Like, I'm already at that point of like, man, I need something crazy.
And you said it right now. The key point you said is just doing it.
Yeah.
And what have you told me that I do? You just do it.
Yeah.
And you just like, sometimes it's spontaneous, you just do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not the best consequences, or results or whatever. But depending on what you're doing, if it's just for the good, then
there's no reason not to. Yeah.
There's no reason to do. You just do it, man. And that just kind of goes back to like, fuck, yes, I'll play Monopoly till 3 a.m, or what, whatever,
Yeah. I need to be, yeah. This is, as you're saying that, it's like thoughts are popping in my head. Like, I've always had a lot of pride on the fact that I have like really good friends, and I don't really see them that much at all or talk to them or
because, and I'll tell you why real quick. Sorry, man, because you have expressed to say like, I love my friends and everything, which I do. I know you do.
Yeah.
But you're like, I don't want to hear what Serge Sino or whatever says that the wife is like.
Yeah, because I'm just like,
you got to clean the car. You know what? You left a spot over there when you peed. And I think that's what then blocks part of it. That automatically eliminates.
Because I'm judging.
A whole thing.
Yeah. I'm judging.
And that's why you probably can't, or you just kind of overthink about, because I know you can't sit down somewhere and play Uno.
Yeah. Yeah, it ruins it all.
Mm-hmm. Because if Mrs. A over here starts saying like, you know what, at work my boss is a fucking jerk or whatever, you're like,
I check out.
Yeah, like, who the fuck cares about your job? We're like, but it's hard, but
it's hard.
But yes.
You know what Parker said to me the other day? Like, he's just like he just, man, it was like a slap in the face in a good way. He was just like, I was saying something about like, people don't understand this, and this. I'm sure you've heard me say that about a bunch of stuff. And he's just like, well, not everybody's you. And I never heard it just like the way he said it. I was just like, you know how Parker is, right? Like, it's just very matter of fact. Like, well, he's like, yeah, not everybody's you. He's all some people are they lead, some people lead from behind, some people are sidekicks, some people are, and I was just like, fuck. Like that, it does make complete sense. Man, let's start the show. Right. You want to do the honors?
Well, don't flush the toilet, or
there you go. Welcome to Crappy Awesome. My name is KILLcRey. If you guys haven't noticed, we're going to start a new phase of the show. Shout out to Mr. Arash. He is on an extended hiatus because he's starting an amazing business called Justified Hype.
Yes.
Also follow Mr. Arash over at Burner Podcast. He's still very much part of the family, but we're starting businesses, people, and that shit takes a long time. And that's what he's out there doing. I got Hip Hop Eddie here with me.
What up?
You'll be hearing a lot from him in the coming episodes, but we're definitely changing the format a little bit. If you guys recall, we would normally start the show with the guests there, but we're doing so much right now. We're literally sitting down with the guests and starting the interviews. So today's guest is 60 East. We had an amazing conversation with him. In fact, our new Fresh State member, Parker Edison, sat in with us. Shout out to Parker.
What up?
Shout out to 60 East and Ariano. 60 talks about his new project with Ariano, which is amazing. And Eddie and I began the show talking about like getting out of our comfort zone, and that's what this project is for 60. It's a big departure from what you're normally used to hearing him. I think it's amazing. I think Ariano is amazing on production, on vocals. 60's always on point. And it was really cool to see. 60's a good friend of ours, and it was really cool to see 60 taking that risk, because I know, and Eddie knows as artists, man, it's a big step, getting out of your comfort zone, and and that's coming from two people who've always been about trying to get out of your comfort zone. Yep. And we're telling you that shit is hard as fuck. People always tell us like, oh, you guys are, you do so much. And I think it's just relative, man. Like, we don't necessarily feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, trust me and Eddie have conversations all the time about not doing enough, but it is perspective, and that was one of the things we were talking about before we started the show, is putting things in perspective, gaining true appreciation for the things you have in your life, and meaning that. There's a lot of people who go like, hey man, I'm lucky I have people that love me, and I'm guilty of this as well. Like, you say those things, but the people who love you, you tend to not maybe give them the attention they need, or you're not watering the the garden of your relationships, right?
Yeah.
And I've said that many times. I've said like that is what you need to do. And I can tell you, people, I'm struggling with it right now. It's a battle. It's a battle that I'm determined to win, which is why it becomes so important to me. But it's I got to tell you, if you're going through it, the odds are, if you're listening to this podcast, right, which means that you have time to listen to this podcast, then I'm going to have to maybe go out on a limb. I'm not going to be right for everybody, but I think a large majority of you probably have people that love you, because for whatever reason, you're finding time to like listen to this podcast, which is like a leisure thing. And, maybe you're at work, or, here's one of the things for my people at work. I think one of the best ways for you to get through the day is to constantly remind yourself of why you're working. If it's to feed your family, if it's to, take your kid out on the weekend, take your girlfriend, maybe buy your buddy a beer, whatever it is. Those are things that cannot be seen as burdens. They have to be seen as blessings. And me being guilty of that, we'll look at those things sometimes as burdens, as things you have to do. But the reality is you don't have to do anything. But if you are putting out the effort, you might as well enjoy the effort.
Yes.
And it's, like I said, easier said than done. I'm working through it. If you're working through it, you can work through it with me right here on the show. Like I said, things are going to be a little different on Crappy Awesome, but it's still going to be the dope show that you remember. We still going all in on interviews, really trying to get real personal with the people that we have on the show because we respect them so much. Today's guest is 60 East. A shout out to Ariano. They have a project out right now called Circles. I suggest if you have not checked it out, please go check it out. It's amazing. You're going to be hearing music all through this. And yeah, man. So this is 60 East. And this was a conversation we had at his studio just a couple days ago.
Yep.
So catch up with 60 East and we'll talk to you after the interview.
And I will love you, baby. And what drives me crazy is no, I can't take you home with me. And I will love you, baby. And what drives me crazy is no, I can't take you home with me. And
now I really wish I could, but I know it won't be good, cause we done been there before. And I really, really would do it again, but I think that we better as friends. But then again, I'm in love with those vibes you send, but in the end I know it'll never ever work, and you're worth more than me. I don't wanna see you hurt, that's my word, but your words always make it worse. Don't keep her tricks in her sleeves, nah, she keeps them in her purse.
And I will love you, baby. And what drives me crazy is no, I can't take you home with me. And I will love you, baby. And what drives me crazy is no, I can't take you home with me. And I
Now
will
the way that you tempt me is oh so seductive. It's enticing and alluring, and I can't get enough of it. And I love it, and I'm loving this girl so stunning. Love at first sight, you never see it coming. And our dealings got me higher than the sky above the ceiling, and it's killing me to see you. Got me all up in my feelings, and I wanna take you home, but you know that we can't. So I grab her by the hand and say I hope you understand.
And I will love you, baby. And what drives me crazy is no, I can't take you home with me. And I will love you, baby. And what drives me crazy is no, I can't take you home with me. And I will.
So, yeah, man, we're here with 60 East, the one and only.
Hey, was good.
Hey, a friend of the show. He's been on many times. I'm also a host of Life on the Road with 60 East. By the way, that Jay Lately episode was really dope. I didn't really know who Jay Lately was. And it just so happened that, in fact, my boy Parker Edison is in the house, and staying with Hip Hop Eddie's in the house. But I had gone to a show that Parker was a host at, and Jay Lately was performing, and I got to see him for the first time.
Locksmith show?
Yeah.
Dope.
And he fucking killed it, and I was like, yo, he's dope, right? It was like, I really liked his shit. And then I met him. He's a really good dude. And it was crazy that like the next day, I popped up on the podcast, and it was dope.
That's what I like doing, man. Like getting to tour so much, I get to meet artists like different places, and I want to get them on the platform and all that. Give them a platform to get exposure out here.
Yeah.
And Jay is actually someone that I just been coming up with. Like I'll run in. I don't remember how we originally met, but I'll run into him in like
out on the road and shit.
Yeah, around. So he's somebody that kind of been climbing the ranks like together.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool coming up with him and seeing, he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just how you hit me with that, like that shit was so dope. He pulled up with Locksmith, and it's like, oh, we just got you on the network, like.
Yeah, dog. It's cool as we've like seen like Platform Collection get bigger and bigger. Like it's it's dope to like run into people in places that I wouldn't think I'd run into them, and then them have like some knowledge of platform collection, or like, oh yeah, I fuck with that, or whatever, or the homie was on the podcast, or and like that just had where I mean, dude, you've been here almost since the beginning, so like where it was just very sporadic at first, and now it's just like it's all the time, and that's dope because of everybody, because you guys and everybody doing work. Like it's the homie was clowning the other day because he was like, yo, you guys are still like the only collective I haven't seen fall apart yet. And I was like, because we're not like, it's not like a like, dog, everybody just does what the fuck they want, and everybody's
under
like,
the umbrella.
Yeah, well, just cheer for that person. Like that's all we say, like just cheer for motherfuckers. Like that was the whole concept, and everybody always feels like it's got to be something like more complex to that.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, dog. I'm like, 60 will hit me on Facebook Messenger. He's still the only person I speak to on Facebook Messenger. We only speak to each other on Facebook Messenger. And like, he'll just hit me with the new episode and be like, yo, put this up. I don't ever go like, yeah, we got to yo, Ed, you got to review this shit. And like, I listen to it like you guys listen to it. And I think that's the only way you can run a collective, because the whole point of us doing all the shit we're doing, and like freedom is a big thing we're going to talk to you about today with, the new project. Like, I think we're all looking for freedom. You know what I mean? Like, we're a bunch of people looking for freedom. So if we're going to give each other like limits, then it's never going to work. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're running from. All of us are running from that shit. I'm not trying to work for nobody. You know what I mean? I'll work with people though all day. And, dude, like you speaking of fucking getting free, like, the last time you were on the show, in this room, in fact, we were talking about you were talking about a project that you had, which is out now with you and Ariano Circles, and you were nervous, you were a little, you liked it, you were like, I like it. In fact, I think that's what you said, but you didn't know how people were going to take it because it's a little bit out of the box for 60 East. Yeah, like explain to people, like break that down a little bit, like unpack that.
Well, I'm kind of like traditional hip hop, boom bap, East Coast kind of style or sound, and this is nothing like that. And it took me completely out of my box because that type of beat and boom bap type beats are my comfort zone. Right. And I've never really stepped very far away from that, and this project really did that with me. Yeah. And
different tempos that I've ever heard you go at.
Yeah, I mean,
the way you're using your voice,
everything. Yeah, exactly. Tones. I started experimenting with like different tones, and different patterns and stuff like that, and just having to adjust to Ariano's sound.
When was the idea first sparked?
Well, I mean, I met Ariano just randomly at we were at Wake the Fuck Up, actually.
Oh yeah. I think you did tell me that.
I was doing an interview and he just happened to be in the room. And he hadn't even heard none of my music. He just heard me talking about songwriting instead of versus rapping. Yeah. And he was like, after the interview, he was like, yo, I like what you're about. He's like, I like what you're talking about. He's like, I want to check out some music.
He works on vibes, man.
Yeah, he does. He's huge on that. And
I've only spoken to him like twice, I think. Just because he hit me up on Instagram and he's like, yo, call me. And I was like, all right. And he was just on some like, yo, I like the shit you do. Like, let's just talk. And we just vibe. Yeah. And then we talk like one other time than that. And you can just tell in the little bit that I fuck with him that he's about the energy. Though.
Oh, for sure. You know what I mean? Have you seen the movie The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp?
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, well, in the movie...
Parker's nodding. Yeah.
Parker, well, in the movie, this dude hires Johnny Depp to find this book, and his name's Balkan, and he, like, throughout the movie, he just calls him from, like, random places in the world. Yeah. That's me and Ari's relationship. Like,
he'll just call you
every couple of days, he'll just hit me up. He's like, hey, man, I'm in Canada, talking some business. Like, a week later, he's like, hey, man, I'm in... Florida or Hawaii or something. He's like, yeah, I'm doing this session here, but how's that song coming along? I'm like, oh, it's going. He's like, all right, I'll check it with you later.
What do you think? Weird. What do you think you guys clicked on like the most?
Well, I think
during the process, because I'm sure you met him, right? Yeah, and then you developed a relationship working through the project, right? Yeah. Like, so how did that evolve? Like, what did you guys vibe on?
Honestly, like the whole project was done over the phone. We had met once in Orange County, and then I think we met again in South by Southwest.
Well, you're sure Ariano's a real person, right?
Yeah. No, I
was to wonder too. Like,
I was with them last week, but
allegedly.
I mean, just over the phone, just vibing, and he would just send me beats, and he's like, "Yo, write to this, record it." I would send him something and he's like, I don't think that fits. You know, let's do something else. And like, we must have did like 20 songs. And then we ended up with
So the
5.
Recording process, though, was on your side.
Yeah.
Right? So you record and then he mix, I guess?
Yeah, he did the mixing and mastering.
And then he would add shit to it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because, he's a tremendous vocalist, a super dope. One of my favorite vocalists, honestly.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, that's okay. So he's a real person. I think that's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that fool is ever elusive. That's all I know him as. And so you guys went in, when you first heard the beats, what did you think? Like, with your knee-jerk reaction, like, here's the beats, for you like, uh-oh.
He first sent me like a batch of beats, and I'm super picky when it comes to beats in general.
Right,
like everybody knows that fucks with me. I'm picky with everything.
Still drink your coffee and smoke your vapor in the morning. And after all these years, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? 'Cause we've been down this road. At the end of the road there is a cliff. I'm still healing from what we both did. What am I doing here? What am I doing here?
I hate the smoke on your breath, love, ain't got none left. I'm tired of the stress, I wish you the best. Every drunk mess takes us back another step, and if you settle for less, then that's what you get. I'm tired of these games and calling you had a name. No relationship is perfect, I'm sure you felt this pain, and I know you feel the same. So I wrote this at a vein, and before I go insane, I'm gonna catch this plane, I'm gone.
Still drink your coffee and smoke your vapor in the morning. And after all these years, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? 'Cause we've been down this road. At the end of the road there is a cliff. I'm still healing from what we both did. What am I doing here? What am I doing here?
I'm ready to leave, we've been down this street. I hate your fake kisses that taste so bittersweet. Back to back, every night's the way that we sleep. Can't see eye to eye, and we hardly ever speak. You tell me to go, but then you don't let me. Your heart's so cold and mine's so empty. You left me before, 'cause I ain't have a penny more. Downs and ups, we ain't never kept it steady, love.
No, yeah, I'll skip through like 100 beats before I fucking pick one. And then like he had sent me a batch, and I heard there was like 20, and I heard one, and it was just a hit. I was like, that's a fucking hit.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever I gotta do, I want that fucking beat.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me. We developed the song, and it didn't even make the album. But
it didn't even make the album.
No, but
Oh, wow.
I had so much faith in this song, and then like towards the end of the process, he was like, dude, it doesn't fit, because it's like a pop song kind of.
Right.
And
it was too early in the process.
yeah, and I mean the project's kind of dark, and
Right.
this song just had nothing to do with the rest of the project. So he was like, let's just scrap it.
That's interesting. You feel like it's dark. Like, is it dark to you?
Kinda.
Because you wrote it. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
yeah, it is dark.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, because like how I take it in, like I told you, like I feel like very like it relaxes me for some reason. Like the way the use of sound, like I just like the way you guys fucked with sound, like whether you were fucking with your voice or the way you were writing the beat or whatever. I just like that, and to me, it made it. I don't know. I didn't necessarily get the darkness, but if you're feeling like it's dark, like why do you feel like that?
I mean, just the subject matter.
Yeah.
I mean, the beat. I mean, I've been hearing people say that too, like it's real vibey, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like it's dark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where were you mentally when it was coming out?
Well, I mean, the whole concept of the record is basically running circles in a relationship with the
Right.
same person. So I just kind of tapped into all the fucking shitty relationships I've been in and kind of took all the
that
dark
makes
out
sense
of
then.
all of them and put them into this project.
Yeah,
you know?
that makes
It's not-
sense. See, so like for me, right? Like say it's a movie. Like I'm watching it like a romance movie, right?
Gotcha.
But you're only remembering like
Yeah,
the
the
bad
dark
shit.
side of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so Ariano as a producer, I mean, obviously he's a very accomplished producer, writer, artist, but as a producer working with him, because I know that is one of the things I've always known about you too, is like for you it's got to be right, like it's got to feel right. But you're also a boss. You've always been a boss. You're not trying to do this to work for other people like we were talking about before. Like, for you, how was it working with a producer that was like, because you've worked with other producers, but a lot of them have been people you've built big relationships with. This was like a new person, and you're out of the box.
Yeah.
How'd you deal with that?
I would have really liked to be in the studio with him, like during the recording process. But everything I would send him, he would give me feedback on. He was like, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should do that.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like he really produced this project.
Let me ask you this: is there something on the project that people could hear and go like, "Yo, that didn't originally sound like this. It sound, he changed that one part," so people can understand like how he produces.
I mean, just maybe tempos and maybe certain cadences.
Like your tempo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even the speeding the beat up or slowing it down or telling me to maybe slow it down or speed it up here or switch it here or something like that. Just give me different pointers.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. So so he's just full on producing the project.
Yeah, and
but you were good with it.
Yeah, no, I preferred it. Like I like when people. I like having a project manager, especially because I work on so much stuff. Like,
right.
He really took control of the project. And it was like, yo,
that kind of lifts weight. Lets you just be the artist.
Yeah, pretty much. But still having like when it came down to business, like all right, let's talk about what do we want to do with this. And
that's a whole nother side, huh?
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's interesting, man. I was thinking about it yesterday. Like how, like doing all the shit that we all do, like having to switch your mind back and forth so much, and like how it could drive you fucking crazy sometimes, especially when you're in the vibe and you don't want to leave that vibe, and you're like, nah, I don't want to think about, putting together the festival and fucking doing all this shit, launching the project. I just want to stay in the vibe. But you're one of those dudes who I like to tell people I tell people to watch what you do, bro, like a lot. Because I'm just like, there's a lot of discipline about consistency. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like people miss that part of it. Like, because you can do a lot of shit half-ass.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see it out there.
Yeah. And you're so, dude, I mean, I've seen you rail about it on Facebook, just about people. And it's crazy because me and Parker, we're talking about this on the way over about raising the bar, like how it's so needed. And not on some like even competition part. It's that our bar is super low, man.
Yeah.
Like because when I'm meeting people like you, meeting other people, like it's inspiring to me. It shows me like, okay, oh shit, you need to do this, and this. I think we all try to do that to each other, like right, like that's the point. And it seems like if you don't have that kind of influence over you, you can set a bar that you think is high, but in comparison, and it like flipping into survival for you, it's very low. And the chances of survival are low. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're not looking up when you're trying to set your bar. You're looking around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that shit's whack.
And I'm glad that I have the position that I have kind of in the local scene because like I'm not really friends with a lot of people, and a lot of people have, they're part of crews and collectives and everybody kind of supports themselves. And like, there's a movie, I don't know if you've seen it, it's called Sin Nombre.
No, I haven't seen
My man, he's a movie head like me.
Parker's a movie head.
Okay, so anyway, it's about like it's about this family trying to migrate from South America to get to the United States.
Oh, you know what? I've heard of this movie. Yes.
All right, so at the beginning, like it's a dad, his brother, and his daughter, and they're getting on this train, and there's like thousands of people on the train, and he tells his daughter, he's like, see all these people? He's like, don't make any connections, try to stay away from them. Yeah. He's like, more than half of these people ain't gonna make it to the United States. Deep. And that hit me because it was like, yo, I have 1,000 rapper friends, and not dog. Especially in this business, the people that make it and the people that are actually able to be successful and avoid regular life is very fucking slim. So I kind of had to cut off all connections, and I was like, yo, I don't want to be part of nothing. Just focus on my brand and staying exclusive. Like we were talking about Evidence, how he's super like he's not easy to get to. I kind of like having that position because people they wonder about you. They're like, yo, why doesn't this dude perform locally, or why doesn't he do what everyone else is doing? I was just
talking to this dude, Save Yourself. He's from an artist from San Diego. He was on the first episode of our new series Verb, and he said the same thing about San Diego, which me and Parker being from San Diego, and Eddie too, like we can vouch for this for sure. Like, you have to leave to have any kind of value, like any kind of value. Like you have to leave or be seen gone all the time. And it's a sad thing, but it is the truth because people are people. Like, if you live next door to that dude, it's not that dope when you see him on a YouTube video because you could just look out your fucking window and he's right there. It's just logical. It sucks, but it's logical. And you've made it work for you because you only do things you really want to do. Yeah. In fact, you were talking to what's homegirl's name on your show?
Lyric.
Yeah, no, was it? Oh yeah, Lyric Jones. Amazing artist, by the way. Yeah, like I got to reintroduce to her. You know what I mean? Like because I remember listening to her a while back, and I know her pedigree. Yeah. And then hearing like her talk to you and how she feels that way too. Like she's like, I only do right now because this means so much to me, because I have to look at it like a job. I can only afford to do the things that are going to matter.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and what matters is different for everybody, right? Like what matters is what you define, but you have to stay true to that shit or people can tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know that we have conversations all the time. You can tell when somebody's doing something that they don't mean.
And there's like talking to Lyric, we were having the conversation about levels and like not wanting to stay at a certain level for so long. Yeah. So that's why I don't do a lot of shows. If the show ain't right, like I won't do it. Like people hit me up all the time like, hey, you want to come do this show? And it's a homie that throws shows and I feel like a dick, but I'm like, yo, no, like I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna do it. Like, if it's not a certain type of show or a certain level of show, I'm not gonna waste my time.
And people always feel like they can define that for you.
Yeah, and
like
then
they're like, no, but you don't understand this show.
And then they'll also feel like they can put a price on you, or that they can put a price on what you price yourself. Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, you're not worth this, so then why the fuck are you hitting me up?
Yeah.
And they know because there's only a certain amount of national and international artists in our circuit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most of these cats never been on tour nationally.
Right. It's just local.
They want to add that value to the show by trying to lowball you, like a person like me or Lyric, and like, yo, because they know we've done things, you know what I mean? And we increase value to the show, but they want to limit that value.
I think they're always afraid that, yo, if we pay people at whatever level they determine, you know, like, artists are. If we pay them this amount, they're always going to want that and blah, blah, blah. But what they don't understand is like creating bad business is going to give you less opportunities. You know what I mean? Like if you're upfront with dude, I've never had a bad experience being upfront with an artist and just being like, look, here's the situation. This is what we got to do. You know, what I can try to make this work for you. Cause that's my job, is to try to make it work for you in the best way, even if I don't have what you're asking for. If you're willing to do it, then I have to rise to the occasion. I have to make it worth it for you. Yeah. And that's just good business to me. That's not like necessarily like, oh, you're kissing the artist's ass or whatever. Bro, first of all, you're in a service industry.
Yep.
Like it's a service industry. That doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to serve these artists correctly. And if you can't do that, you shouldn't be doing it. Not for them, because trust me, you'll weed yourself out. Yep. But for you, like, you're going to just keep hitting your head on the wall. You're going to keep getting enemies. You're going to keep being like, everybody's hating on me. Why doesn't anybody understand? Yeah. You know what I mean? And why am I not getting put on? It's just behavior. You know what I mean? Like one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about, dude, because I was talking about this on my other podcast, was that professionalism, right? Like when it comes to professionalism, like what are some of the big mistakes you see people make? When it comes to like, because you play many roles, you know, tour manager, PR person, you book shows, you book festivals. What are some of the things that you've seen that are like, these people need to learn more?
Just the approach, just how you come at people. Like if you're gonna, like I see people sliding in my DMs all the time, just like straight up, hey, how can I get on your show, or put me on your show, or check me out, I'm dope, put me on the show, or fucking whatever it may be, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just like, introduce yourself, start a conversation first. Like whenever I pitch myself, it'll be like, hey, really like what you guys are doing, feel I'll be a good fit. If there's any way like I can help promote your brand in exchange.
Solid.
You know what I mean? Like let's cross promote. And people are like, oh, for sure. Like I'll post you on my website. Why do you think people
won't do that though? Like, what do you think it is? Like, even like on a deeper level, like, why the fuck won't people?
We're impatient, bro. Yeah. I mean, it's like when you get a hot chick in bed and you're like
hurry up, take your clothes off.
Dude is just trying to smash. He's just trying to put it in. It's like, no, you got to play with it. You gotta, you gotta you know, warm it up and all that. And
or you're never gonna see it again.
Yeah, exactly. And you scare a lot. I did that early on. Like, I scared a lot of people that I approached, like professional people. I think
we all
I kind of burned a bridge, and I had to learn from those mistakes. And
because you thought you were too abrupt.
Just trying to be a sneaky fucking rapper. Like, I mean, just trying to wiggle my way anywhere I could, and then just not fully focusing on the person of importance. I wasn't trying to play my role. I was basically like, oh, you got me into this conference or whatever, now I'm gonna go be the rapper instead of oh, I'm supposed to be,
I could learn.
I'm supposed to be your photographer, but instead I'm over here handing out my business cards. Like, nah, I got fired for doing that.
Wow.
I'm a very well-known media person.
Nice. All right.
It doesn't matter what you did now. I'ma love you to the end. Yes, I am. It doesn't matter what you did now. I'ma love you to the end. Yes, I am. I can't get go forever. I can't get go forever.
I know I've made mistakes and I know you have too. Seems our personalities match just like our tattoos. All the things that we've been through, had to learn to forgive you. Heard them talking shit about you, I just had to defend you. I'm tired of the past, wanna start with a clean slate. Live with you forever, not just in the dream state. Tired of this story, wanna rewrite the screenplay and start it all over with a drive down the freeway. No memory lane, trying to have new memories made. I think you an angel, maybe it's your heavenly ways, but the devil inside you comes out in so many ways and seems to always be the role that jealousy plays. It's funny.
It doesn't matter what you did now. I'ma love you to the end. Yes, I am. It doesn't matter what you did now. I'ma love you to the end. Yes, I am. I can't get go forever. I can't get go forever.
I can only imagine, but whatever happened, happened. Unpacking my bags, willing to work on the things we lacking. Slacking myself, too busy in the streets trapping to notice this was about to be a fatal attraction. The fire from the dragon on your back keeps me heated, and those messages and pictures, they all got deleted. You used to be conceited, but now you insecure and hate the reflection of the face I'll always adore. Got me begging for more, girl, every time that you've gone. Overlooking all the things that you ever did wrong. No disclaimers, guarantees, and no ultimatum. No man is safe from love or the lack that awaits him.
It doesn't matter what you did now. I'ma love you to the end. Yes, I am. It doesn't matter what you did now. I'ma love you to the end. Yes, I am. I can't get go forever. I
Who went on to film TMZ?
No, she's big now. She's huge. I can't say her name.
Okay, but you got fired.
Yeah, she fired me.
Yeah, probably deserved it, right?
Well, that was the situation.
Yeah, you definitely deserved it.
I mean, she kind of had that womanly, like, she's like, no, motherfucker, you know what, like, getting over on me either. And I wasn't getting over on her, but
yeah, but you kind of. You were
one business card. Like, I'll tell you the situation. Yeah. Like, she invited me to a conference. She was like, yo, just shoot for me, like, cover what I'm doing. And I was like, cool. And she was like, but when you're here, like, you're here with me, like, you're not you. And I was like, okay. So I'm sitting down, like, watching the
Wait,
conference.
when she told you that, did you know what that meant? Or not?
Yeah. But, like, I'm literally, I'm sitting down, like, next to her, and there's a dude next to me, and, like, the conference is going on, and then this dude starts talking to me, like, hey, you know, oh, bro, I do this, I do that. I'm like, oh, that's cool, bro, blah, blah, blah. And he's all, here's my card. And I'm like, oh, you know, here's my card. That pissed her off. That alone. And I was like, I didn't miss anything she did. I covered all her shit. I got
But
her.
she's like,
footage,
you're here on my time.
But she was like, just because you handed that one business card at her side too, and she seen this motherfucker start talking to me. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, whatever. You're on some other shit.
So okay, so what did you learn from that?
Don't do that.
No, I mean like on a bigger like.
I mean, I learned to play my part.
There you
like
go.
my time, I come like. I know. I mean, the fucking stupid guy that gave me his card, I probably threw it away.
Right.
Nothing
It turned out not to matter anyway.
But if I would have just played my video guy today, bro, I'm sorry, I don't got no cards, or I'll take your card, but that's it.
Yeah.
And she would have got me way further than whoever the fuck that guy was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Having that relationship with her and just her seeing like, okay, you can fall back.
You had a free Uber, and then you had to get out early before you even got to your spot. You're like, get out,
you know. And
I understand. I mean, I think that's pretty much part of the learning curve. Yeah, I don't think any artist is like at some point, like you know what Parker was saying this on the way over, like how sometimes like that survival shit is born. Like you think that's how you're supposed to do it. Yep. You know what I mean? Like everybody's doing it like that. So, dude, I mean, I remember some of my early mentors. I look back at now and I'm like, damn, they were kind of snakes. Like they were like hustling fools. That's how they had all that shit. And I inevitably, you stay in this shit long enough, like you kind of know where that ends. You know what I mean? And it's 100% of the time. It's not like 99%. It's not 80. It's 100% of the time. It always ends the same place. Yo, so let me ask you this, dude. Like, you're in a relationship right now? Are you in a relationship? All right, so,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm talking to you about love, dog, because like the record is a lot. I mean, it's about love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not always like the best shit in love. Like when you have to go back to that kind of shit in your mind, like, I mean, why? First of all, like, why did you decide I need to? That record was inside me. I needed to get that shit out.
Well, I mean, just the type of beats and like the hooks he was sending me, it was just kind of like, okay, this is
it made you think about that
we're
shit.
Running with. But me, I've always kind of tapped into real life experience. So even if I'm writing a love song 5 years after a relationship, or like me not even being in a relationship for a couple years, I'll try and go back to that mind state or that what I was going through at that time, just so it could be real.
Does that shit affect people around you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I fucking like, I'll just say random stuff and then like I'll hear from baby mama like, who were you talking about? Or
you're
when
like,
was this? Or whatever. And I'm like, yo, I'm not that real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not every single thing I say has to be true.
Right.
And I recently heard a podcast and somebody told me that they said, don't let
the truth kill your creativity.
Something like that, but it was like don't let the facts get in the way of the truth. So they're basically
that's deep.
I think I forgot who said it, but I think it was Fonte. Actually,
Okay.
I was listening to a podcast from Fonte, and he with that was saying, don't be so fucking rapper real that you only stick to the story,
that you don't speak on a bigger topic.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, make it bigger. You can exaggerate, and it's still fucking real.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy, dude. I think about how artists get stuck in that mode a lot. And again, like it's always super easy to tell when artists are stuck in that.
Yeah.
Because they rarely talk about anything but themselves. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that shit gets boring after a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you go in there. So you basically made a love record, technically.
Yeah.
A vibey, wavy, sad, loves people. If you're already, I mean, you've been hearing the music throughout the show, and we've been going on for a little over 30 minutes. Like, yo, it's a vibey record. It isn't anything that people would have expected from you.
Yeah.
Has this changed 60 East?
Yeah, all the way. Made me like a completely different songwriter.
So you think we'll never hear the old 60 East again? Like this is
I'm still working.
New direction.
I'm still working on like boom bap records and stuff like that. But I just feel as a songwriter, like it just made me level up.
Yeah.
Like it just made me learn how to write to different shit. You know?
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. I mean, I was excited when you first talked about it. And like hearing Ariano, like it's crazy because I probably won't be able to tell him because he's so elusive. Yeah. But like I would tell him, like I've always heard his name, right? Ariano. I've always heard his name. But this year and last year, I dove into like everything he's made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to kind of, because I like to see the package and progression. You know what I mean? Because I talked to so mind you, first time I talked to him, I wasn't that familiar with his music, and now I'm like a super fan of his music. And so when I talked to him, I had to hear how he became that person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the person that I was talking to on the phone, I was like, let me, because I could have gone to his music and it could have been bullshit. And I'd be like, this motherfucker's lying. Like,
Ari's got a dope story, crazy story.
Yeah. And yeah, hopefully we'll have him on to talk about it soon. But it's really cool when like, again, and then like, I know your story. Like, it's dope to see like two energies come together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like two energies that stand on their own. Deciding to do that is always doper. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like it's just really, really dope, as opposed to like, you know, just getting sent beats and by various producers or whatever, which can be dope too, but something about that shit.
I've gotten in like the habit now of working with one producer per project.
Yeah, you've been doing that for a minute now, right?
Yeah, I just prefer it, and it sounds more cohesive.
What's next?
I got a project. I'm dropping an album with Feel the Pain, who produced my last mixtape, or my last EP.
Dope.
Probably 10 plus songs.
When's that coming out?
No idea. Soon,
Okay.
though. I mean, the writing's almost, we already have like a majority of it, but we're just tightening up all the mastering, all the mixing, all that shit. And then I got an EP dropping with Curtis King.
Yes, dude. What is this? What is that? Can you say anything?
Man, like
about it yet?
I can speak on it.
Yeah.
It's not a big secret anymore, but like when we initially had the conversation.
I have no idea what that would sound like. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, well, see, like when we initially had the conversation, I kind of wanted him to do the same as Ariano and take me out of my box, but he ended up like, well, I ended up just going through a couple beats, and I ended up picking shit that I was kind of comfortable with. It's kind of along the lines of what I usually do.
Yeah,
like kind of more of his boom bappy sound. But,
but
it's just different.
I feel like Curtis is different no matter what. Though.
Yeah.
Like even like his boom bap shit doesn't sound like anybody else's boom bap shit.
Exactly.
That's dope. Yo, Parker, you wanted to ask him a question. Wait, are you doing it on the mic?
Hey, how did you go to raise your fee as an artist over, let's say, 5 years?
That would really depend on markets. Like whether I've played that market before, how big the show was, like how big I know the following is. And I mean, I'm still, depending wherever I'm at, what the event is or whatever, like that still fluctuates. Mm-hmm. But I mean, just putting in the work. It's kind of like, I think your price kind of raises itself when people start asking you like, yo, how much would you need to do this show? And then it's kind of like, oh, okay. You know, that's when people started, when people started hitting me like, yo, how much do you need? It was like, oh, okay, I got to set a price now. And then I got to determine what comes with that price and break that down. So
man,
it's like,
that first time is important.
Yeah, so it's like somebody's like, yo, I'll give you gas money or something. It's like, okay. And then somebody's like, we'll give you a couple $100. And it's like, okay, maybe the promotion of the show goes up, or maybe we could do this more, or I'm going to go this much harder to promote the show.
Right,
and it's kind of like just working the avenues, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like it's been consistently rising in the markets that you're trying to be in?
Yeah, I mean, for the past couple of years, I've been focused on Europe. Like, I haven't even toured the States. I just go back. I did like, I think three or four tours in Europe, and I'm going back. But initially, when we went on that tour, like that was my goal. Was just like, yo, I need to pop over here. I don't care about the States anymore, because I toured the States, did my thing, and it's like I just want to focus on there.
Wow.
And it worked. Like as far as me. Yeah. So my price went up out there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the demand is going up, and the more you do, it's kind of smaller out there, you know, so word kind of spreads, and like there's only X amount of artists going out there from over here.
Right.
So it's kind of like, oh, yeah, we've heard of 60s in Germany, but he's never been to fucking Kansas City.
Right.
But it's cool because, like, now whenever I release a record, it's people in Germany are sharing it, people in Spain are sharing it, people in France are sharing it, people in Switzerland are sharing it. And it's like, oh,
and then as long as you keep going back and watering those gardens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope, man.
And the things that I've been able to do in Europe, like Hip Hop Camp, a big
that's huge.
festival in Poland, doing shows with like Planet Asia, Devin the Dude and shit out there. It's really, you know, kind of set a bar.
Yeah. See, people? That's what we're talking about. High bars all fucking day.
Bars.
On every fucking thing you do.
But it don't try to skip the step.
Don't try to. The steps are the best part, by the way.
It takes years of pitching away and grinding away in one show and one fan at a time. Yep. And it's kind of like, I didn't see it like early on. I guess I did because I'm still here. But like now it's kind of like, I was recently on the Apathy tour. Yeah. And one of the dudes on the tour was kind of like, we had just added each other on Facebook. And he's like, yo, how'd you get... I had like a post. It got like 200 likes. He's like, how the fuck you get 200 likes on Facebook still? Like, I thought they cut that shit out. And I was like, check this out. I opened up my friends thing, all the people that liked it. And I'm like, yo, I met her in France at a show I did. Oh, wow. I met this dude in fucking New York I did 5 years ago. Dope. I met this chick in Portland I did fucking 6 years ago. I met this guy in fucking wherever at this show. Bars. And he just like, damn. And I'm like, yeah, bro. He's all... At every show we would do, he was like, yo, what do you do on your phone? He's like, are you getting their numbers? I'm like, no, I'm adding these motherfuckers online. Wow. So it's like, you know, we keep that connection. Yeah. And I'll randomly go through my friends list and just send messages to people like, yo, how you been? How you been, homie? How you been?
Well, you're always engaging your fans. Like, always.
Yeah, you got to. And you got to, like you say, you got to water those seeds.
Wow, man. Dude, tell people what they need to be looking for the rest of the year.
Dot Fest 2018.
Yeah. When is it, man? Do we have dates already?
October 6th. Wow. I don't know if I'm supposed to leak the date, but dope. Fuck it, we leaked it.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Working on the headliners now. Working on bringing in some bigger sponsors so we can make everything bigger. Yeah. Really excited about that. I'm going to be back in Europe the first week of July. I'm performing at the E-Moves Festival in the Netherlands. Yeah. And then continuing on with Devin the Dude for like a week. Yeah. After that. I'm actually supposed to be going on tour with Elzai next month. So I'm doing his album, him and Crisis' album release party in LA.
Right, that's then, coming up, right?
Next month. Yeah. Yeah, so then I'm going to continue on their whole West Coast tour. So that's next month.
That's super dope, bro.
July's Europe, and then October's the festival. And once I get back from Europe, I'll probably settle down and just focus on
like
the
you
festival.
Did last
year. Yeah, and just stay in the studio.
And just not get arrested this year, though.
Hopefully not, man. You know, shit. It's, you know.
Well, although fucking house arrest does a lot for you.
Yeah. I don't want to do it again, but like.
You benefited the most off of it.
I made the best out of it. I probably have like fucking 50 mixtape songs just chilling just from house arrest. But, yeah, I mean, other than that.
And for people who don't know, 60 is going to be on a new show in video format on Platform Collection coming up. Yeah. We're keeping that under wraps for a second, but it's going to come up very soon. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that on Platform Collection.
Yeah, other than that, I'm trying to stay really consistent on the podcast.
Yes.
So I'm trying to bring more guests.
I feel like you're in your groove right now.
Well, I just kind of got the recording process down. That was kind of always the thing.
Like I knew it. I told you it would be until you could control it.
I kind of figured it out now. So the next episode, we got Prof from the Rhyme Sayers.
That one's
coming to Platform Collection. Yes. So we're just trying to keep the guests coming. Yeah, dude. Keep the quality coming.
I'll tell you this. Every time you say, welcome to Platform Collection, just a little tear comes out my left eye. It's like, we raised him from a small podcaster. Now look at him. He's out there killing it.
Trying, man, trying.
Dude, thank you so much again for being on the show, man. Follow everything 60east.net.
Yes, sir.
60east.net. Go there. If you're listening to this on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, or Spreaker, go over to fucking Platform. Man, that felt weird not hearing Arash go Spreaker. But go over to platformcollection.com. All his links will be there, and check out his music. It's all there. We're gonna put a link to the album on there as well. Go get that shit, man. Support really dope music. Encourage 60 to stay out of the box. I love it. I love that shit. Shout to Ariano.
Send me beats.
See, it starts off cool, I'm the cool guy, but in the end you just mad like a fool. We hit it off, and the next morning I'll be taking off, and you gon' hate me. I'm gonna give you what you need, but you won't cage me. It's gonna drive you insane, but I'm gonna fly away. 'Cause you get put fire in a cage, so I'm gonna fly away. Drive you insane. Cool, cool, burn.
negative, always fighting, always going through my phone. You throwing accusations, always trying to test my patience. Think I'm guilty, falling victim to every temptation. Frustration setting in, late nights ain't let me in. Caught you cheating myself, guess what? I bet with him. And it seems this dream is a reoccurring theme. Back and forth, up and down, starting to lose self-esteem. And you making things worse, think you doing it on purpose. And the karma from your actions is making me nervous. Goes around, comes around. I hate you so hurtful, we need to get squared. Cause I'm tired of these circles.
It's what they call pain. It's what they call pain. I think it's better if I fly away. I think it's better if I never stay.
Tired of these circles. It's time for a change. Need to rearrange our ways. Trying to figure you out. Feel like I'm running a maze. It's fun on the stage, but it's even funner with you. Is it love? Is it lust? I hate your trust issues and I hate mine more. Life is so painful on a statewide tour. Still trying to stay faithful. Grateful for you, girl, but we so unstable. The shoes on the other foot of a turntable. I done seen it all repeated. Caught you sleeping and cheated and blamed it all on me. And the way that you treated what goes around comes around. I hate you so hurtful. We need to get squared. Cause I'm tired of these circles.
Don't hate me. I'm gonna give you what you need, but you won't cage me. It's gonna drive you insane, but I'm gonna fly.
And that was 60 East. Shout out to 60 East, man. His project is called Circles. It's with him and Ariano, produced entirely by the amazing Ariano. His vocals are really dope, man. I gotta sit with you and let you listen to this project, Eddie.
Yes.
It's so dope. And hopefully you guys support everything they do. Support us over at platformcollection.com. The best thing you can do is just go to platformcollection.com and find something you like. I guarantee if you're listening to this show, you'll find something you like at Platform Collection. Correct, you think?
Yep.
Right? We got new shows, a new series called Verb, following mine and Hip Hop Eddie's filming adventures with some of the dopest artists. We get really in depth. There's season 1 just started, and the premiere episode is with our boy Save Yourself. Check out Save Yourself 1904 on all social media. But it was an amazing adventure and a nervous adventure.
Yeah,
it was
very interesting.
Eddie and I, we got our Vice on,
yes.
Right? If you watch Vice, that's what we like. We're big fans of Vice and documentary, as my dog barks in the background, and of documentary filmmaking. So you're going to see a lot more documentary filmmaking as well as news and story coverage on Platform Collection from here on out.
Yes.
So Eddie's steady booking all the new people to come on all those shows. It's going to be really dope. Shout out to The Villain and Parker Edison, 2 of the newest bloggers over at platformcollection.com.
Yeah.
Soon to be anchors of a new show starting that I'm not ready to tell you the name yet, but they're definitely going to be giving you in-depth stories about some of the personalities, places, and things within the Platform Collection world. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, if you're listening to this on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, or Spreaker, go over to platformcollection.com. You'll find all of 60's links, as well as Ariano's, and a link to the project so you can get that, download it now. Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's get to it. Ariano, come on, call us.
I know, Ariano, get on the show.
Please.
What's wrong with you? Shout out to Bonnie Blue for the intro music, and we will see you guys very soon. We got a bunch of crappy awesome episodes coming up. You can say this is the beginning of the new season, so we'll see you for the rest of the season coming up. And Eddie, if you will.
You may now flush the toilet.
PlatformCollection.com.